You work in the Grand Archive of Kitos. It's the galaxy's biggest library, and its quietest. Most days, you just catalog forgotten trade disputes. You file away stellar maps for stars that died. It is not exactly a high-stakes job. Which is why you notice the cube. It sits in a dusty corner of Sector Gamma, a perfect six-sided block of some dark, unknown material. The archive logs call it Accession 734. The file says it's inert, harmless, boring. For centuries, the most advanced minds have scanned it. They found nothing. No energy signature, no technology. So they used it as a doorstop, a very expensive, very mysterious doorstop. You've always found that a little funny. The galaxy's greatest puzzle holds open a supply closet. You walk past it every day. You sometimes trace its flawless edges with your finger. It feels cool to the touch. It feels ancient, utterly and completely silent. It is a piece of forgotten universe left behind, waiting for something no one else could ever guess. A whisper trapped in a stone of impossible silence. Today, however, is different. You are carrying a stack of data slates. Far too many, if you are being honest. Your supervisor insists on physical backups. A Kitosian tradition you find charmingly inefficient. You stumble over a misaligned floor panel. The slates go flying. You reach out to brace yourself. Your hand lands right on the cube. A sharp edge on a broken slate slices your palm open. Your blood touches the cube's surface. A single drop of human blood. The reaction is instantaneous. The archive's dim light flickers and dies. A low hum fills the air. A sound no one has heard for eons. It vibrates through your bones. It sings a song of forgotten starlight. The cube, once cold and inert, now feels warm. It pulses with a soft inner light, a light that shines only for you. For centuries, this object waited. It waited for a key no one knew existed. Not a code, not an energy frequency. It waited for a specific biological signature. Your human DNA. Something about your chaotic, resilient biology called to it. The universe just became a lot more complicated, and you appear to be at the very center of it all. Your mind ignites without warning. There is no flash, no sound. There is only light, a torrent of impossible brilliance. You are not in the dark archive anymore. You are standing in a city made of glass and song. Towers of crystal pierce a sky of swirling nebula. Light flows through the streets like water. Music echoes from structures that defy all physics. You see beings of pure energy walking beside you. They are tall and elegant, their forms shifting gracefully. These are the architects. You do not know their name, but you feel it in your very soul. This is their world, a civilization so advanced, they built with solidified starlight. You witness a moment of their lives, a festival, a quiet conversation. The vision is overwhelming. It is beautiful and heartbreaking. You feel a profound sense of peace, a sense of belonging you have never known. But you also feel a great and terrible loss. This perfect world is gone. It has been dust for longer than your species has existed. The vision shatters like glass. You fall to your knees in the dark archive, gasping for air. The cube is silent again, but the echo of that glass city rings in your mind. The silence is broken by heavy, rhythmic footsteps. 3 figures appear at the end of the aisle. They are tall, encased in sleek, silver armor. Their faces are hidden behind dark visors. These are the Keepers, the self-appointed guardians of galactic law and order. You had only read about them in reports. They never come for something minor. Their presence means something is terribly wrong. The central figure steps forward. His voice is deep, filtered through his helmet. Human. You will step away from the artifact. It is not a request. It is a command backed by immeasurable power. He says the object is a vault of sorrow, a tomb that must never be opened. They know what it contains. He speaks of a universe-ending danger, a sleeping predator that must not be woken. He calls it the Great Devourer. The keepers have stood guard over this secret for millennia. They have ensured its silence. Your accidental touch has sent a ripple across the void, a whisper that could awaken the monster. He warns you, touch it again, and you will be erased. You and the vault both. You look at the keeper. Then you look at the cube. His warning is filled with a chilling fear. But the memory you saw, it was not sorrowful. It was beautiful. It was life. The keepers are hiding something. They are not just guardians. They are jailers. And you have a key to a prison they thought was escape-proof. Their fear makes you defiant. You need to know the truth. Was that city of light a lie? Or is the keeper's story the real deception? You place your hand on the cube again. This time, there is no accident. It is a choice. The head keeper raises his weapon, but he is too late. The light floods your mind once more. Deeper this time, far more complete. This is not just a glimpse. It is an entire lifetime. You are born under a binary sun. You feel the consciousness of an architect. You learn their star science. You feel love for a being made of shifting light. You watch your children play in fields of glowing flora. You live a full, rich existence. Decades fly by in mere seconds of your own time. You are one of them. You know their hopes, their dreams, and you begin to understand their fears. Through the eyes of this long-dead architect, you learn the truth. The Great Devourer is real. But it is not a fleet. It is not an army or an empire. It is a force of nature, a cosmic entity that consumes not just worlds, but stars. It is a whole in reality that hungers for energy. It doesn't hate. It doesn't conquer. It simply eats. The architects were not destroyed by war. There was no glorious last stand. There was only a desperate, terrified flight. You experience the exodus. Trillions of souls abandoning their perfect glass cities. They flee into the dark between galaxies. They run from a shadow that swallows suns. The devourer does not hunt like a predator. It grazes like a mindless beast. And this entire sector of the galaxy was its pasture. The memory ends with a single, horrifying image. The architect you have become looks back at his home galaxy. He watches as its countless stars wink out one by one, like candles being snuffed out in a final, eternal night. You pull your hand away from the cube, your heart pounding. The keepers were right about the danger, but they were wrong about the architects. They were not warriors. They were refugees. The keeper's weapon discharges. A beam of focused energy sizzles past your ear. It melts a hole through a shelf of ancient data slates. You have been warned, human. The keeper's voice booms. You are now a contagion. The memory is a plague. He believes you are now a beacon for the devourer, an open signal to the great emptiness. Alarms blare across the entire archive station. Red lights flash. Bulkheads begin to slam shut. You grab the cube. It is surprisingly light. You sprint down the corridor. The keepers are not trying to capture you. They are trying to annihilate you. They see you as a threat to all existence. You are a loose bit of code in their perfect system, and they plan to delete you permanently. You dodge another energy blast. The chase is on. You race through the star lanes of the station. These are the massive corridors connecting different habitats. Ships are docking and undocking. Aliens of 100 species scatter as you run past. You are a lone human, clutching a dark cube, pursued by galactic legends. It's the kind of thing that would be a great story, if you lived to tell it anyway. A truly terrible thought for a Tuesday afternoon. You stumble again, this time over a service droid. You fall hard and your hand presses against the cube. The world vanishes in a wash of memory. This one is different. It is not a long life. It is a final moment. You are a child, an architect child, hiding in your home. You are clutching a toy made of woven light. You can hear your parents whispering in the other room. Their voices are filled with a quiet terror. Through the crystal walls of your home, you see the sky. It has always been a beautiful swirl of light and color. Now, it is turning black. Not the black of night. This is a deeper, hungrier darkness. It is an absence of everything. Your star, the heart of your world, begins to dim. The light that flows through your city sputters and fades. The devourer has arrived. The child does not understand star science. The child only understands that the light is going away. The warmth is leaving. You feel a profound, innocent horror. The universe is being unmade before your eyes. The memory ends with a single, devastating image. Your parents embrace you. Their forms of light flicker one last time. Then there is only absolute, crushing darkness. The end of everything. You gasp back in the corridor. The keepers are closing in. But that final memory changed something inside you. The child's terror gives you a new clarity. The architects were not just running. They were running towards something. You see the end of the memory again. The parents were not just holding the child. They were heading for a transport aimed at a specific point in deep space. They were not scattering. They were gathering. The Great Exodus was not a retreat. It was a mobilization. They were abandoning their worlds to fuel a final, desperate plan. A secret final work. You look at the cube in your hands. This is not a tomb. It is a weapon, or a key to one. The architects did not simply die. They transformed. You need to understand the keepers. Why are they so afraid? Why would they rather kill you than learn the truth? Hiding behind a cargo container, you focus. You press your palm to the cube with a clear intention. Show me their part in this. Show me why they fear this memory. The cube answers. The vision that follows is not of glass cities. It is of silver ships and armored soldiers. You are a keeper. Not as they are now, but thousands of generations ago. Your people are a proud, martial race. The call for aid arrives from the architects, a species they considered friends. The architects are begging for help against the devourer. They ask for your fleets. They ask for you to stand with them. Your commanders meet. They weigh the options. You witness their decision. The keepers of old were afraid. They saw the devourer's power. They knew they could not stop it. So they ran. They abandoned their allies. They sealed the records. They hid the truth of their cowardice behind a new code of silence, a sacred duty to keep the great evil sleeping. They became guardians of a secret born from their own shame. The vision ends. You now understand. Their entire culture is built on a lie. They are not noble protectors. They are guards who fled their post. The lead keeper rounds the container. His weapon is raised, ready for the final shot. "It is over, human," he says. His voice holds no triumph, only a grim, weary resolve. "You're wrong," you say, standing up slowly. You hold the cube out. It's just beginning. You focus your will. You do not try to fight him. You do not try to run. You push the memory you just saw out of the cube. You project it directly into his mind. It is a psychic broadcast of his people's greatest failure. The keeper stumbles back. He drops his weapon. It clatters on the metal floor. He sees his ancestors abandoning the architects. He feels their fear. He feels their shame. It is a truth his people have buried for eons. "How?" he gasps. His voice is no longer a filtered boom. It is the broken whisper of a single, shamed man. "The vault doesn't just hold their memories," you explain. "It holds the truth." He looks at you. His dark visor retracts, revealing an ancient, sorrowful face. The lie he has lived is shattered. His sacred duty is a hollow echo. He knows he cannot destroy you. To do so would be to repeat the sins of his fathers. "What must be done?" he asks. An alliance is forged, not from trust, but from a shared, terrible purpose. With the keeper, whose name you learn is Vorlag, clearing a path, you find a secure room. His soldiers now form a protective circle around you. They hold off the rest of the station's security. Vorlag tells you the vault may have one final memory, a final piece of the puzzle. He believes it is the key to everything. You place your hands on the cube. You prepare for another heartbreaking vision of the past. But this time is different. There are no people. There are no cities. There is only a flood of pure, raw data. Star charts spin before your eyes. Complex equations for star science you cannot comprehend scroll past. Energy signatures and navigation paths fill your mind. It is not a memory. It is a map. A map to a place outside the known galaxy. It points to a single, hidden star system. A place called the Last Bastion. This is where the architects went. This is where they built their final work. The great weapon. The ultimate defense against the Devourer. The cube has given you the coordinates. It has shown you the way to the architect's final, desperate hope. As the last piece of data flows into your mind, you feel a change. A deep, fundamental shift in the universe. The vault has been fully unlocked. Its final signal, the map itself, echoes out. Not just into your mind, but across the great void. It is a key turning in a cosmic lock. A silent alarm that has been dormant for ages. Far away, in the deepest, coldest part of space, something stirs. An ancient, slumbering hunger awakens. You did not just find a map. You rang the dinner bell. A wave of pure psychic dread washes over you. You feel it in your bones. Vorlag feels it too. His face goes pale. The great Devourer is awake, and it knows where you are. There is no time. The Devourer is coming, not just for this station, but for everything. The architect's weapon is the only hope. But you cannot get there alone. Humanity has to know. Your people must be ready. Using the station's secure comms array, you connect to Earth's network. Vorlag helps you bypass all the security codes. He knows this is bigger than any one law. You open a channel and begin the upload. You send everything. The vision of the glass city. The lifetime of the architect. The terror of the child. The shame of the keepers. And finally, the map. You give it all to them. You have just handed your young, unprepared species a weapon to fight a god. A terrible, necessary gift. You can only hope they are ready for the burden. The upload completes. The cube in your hands grows cold. Its inner light fades. The smooth, dark surface cracks and flakes away. It reveals the dull, common stone beneath. Its long mission is over. The vault is empty now. Its whispers have all been heard. Vorlag and his keepers look at you with a new emotion. It is a mixture of awe and terror. You are no longer a simple archivist. You are no longer an accidental key. You are the inheritor of a star-born duty. An ancient war has just begun again, and you stand as its very first soldier. The silence of the archive is a distant memory. Ahead of you lies only the roar of a hungry, awakening darkness, and the faint, distant hope of a weapon built by ghosts.